To begin with the event, I would like to call upon stage Professor Madhubani sir, Dean Alumni and Outreach, to come on the stage and say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. मुझे पता है आपको प्रोफेसर ने ऐसे बोला कि लाए यहाँ पे for this 45 to 1 hour. Okay. So it takes me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this one more initiative that we have with our alumni. We call this as an coffee with alumni. So this initiative is not just about conversations over coffee, but it is about reconnecting, celebrating the journeys of our alumni and learning from those who once sat at your place where you are now sitting. And today we have, and we are very proud to host our alumni, esteemed alumni, Sushmita Kaneri, a batch of 2020 from IT department. She is a shining example of purpose-driven leadership, from being a software engineer to becoming a social entrepreneur. She has demonstrated that success is not only about professional growth, but it is also about societal impact. So through her venture, Gullakaari, she is reviving the India's craft and empowering more than 1,000 artists over the nation, you can say, with sustainable livelihoods. Her journey reflects innovation with compassion, a true blend of technology, tradition, and transformation. At Vishwakarma Institutes, we believe that our alumni are the strongest ambassadors. When they create impact in society, they strengthen the institute's legacy. And we are very proud that we have with us today Sushmita. She is a very, you can say, renowned entrepreneur in a very different kind of sector, a social entrepreneur. So I take this opportunity to welcome Sushmita from the management, director, all deans, heads, faculty members of Vishwakarma Institute. And I also welcome you all to this Hobby with Alumni session. So we will be hosting such session mostly once in a week. And if fortunate, you may always welcome to attend such session. Hope you enjoy this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. So before we move forward, I would like to highlight more upon our guest for today. So it is Ms. Sushmita Kaneri, ma'am, an alumni of Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune, who graduated in 2020 in the degree of Information Technology. While many engineers choose corporate success, Sushmita ma'am chose a different path, one driven by purpose. She founded Gullakaari, a platform dedicated to reviving India's endangered traditional crafts and empowering artisan communities across the country. Her work is not just about business, it's about dignity, heritage, and creating sustainable livelihoods for those whose art tells the story of our nation. Today, she stands before us not just as an entrepreneur, but as a reminder that success is most powerful when it uplifts the others. Let's give a heartfelt welcome to Sushmita Kaneri, ma'am. Ma'am, you can join us on stage, please. And to honor and felicitate our esteemed guest, I would like to invite Dr. Vijay Mane sir, Dean Alumni and Outreach, and Dr. Premanand Gadikar sir, Head of Department CSE AI ML, to join us on stage. And Head of ITs as well. क्या हुआ क्या हुआ
कुछ नहीं हुआ मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ आप बताइए आप
अरे भेज 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 जल्दी भेज नया वाला
तुझे मेरा ना फोन अपने पास है.
एक मिनट एक मिनट, उनका फोटोशूट चल रहा है। एक मिनट, रुक 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 रुक।
Ma'am, ma'am, this way, this way. Ma'am, please attach this collar mic. Yes, ma'am, it is on. Ma'am, this is for the recording, and this mic is for the audio injection. This is also on. Okay.
You want to
एक mic
test?
मुझे चाहिए. हाँ on. एक mic मुझे चाहिए. Ma'am, please attach.
चलो नाही आहे, मी तेच चेक केलं आधी.
Hello, ma'am. How are you feeling today this morning while visiting your college again, this time not as a student but as an alumni and who has founded Gullakaari?
Nothing to do with founding the second half, Gullakaari, but it feels so comfortable and warm, just like being at home. I have heard this statement so many times from the other side, and it was like the most cliched and typical statement. But now I know how it feels like. And again, a different perk. Every time we used to struggle finding the parking. But this time I was able to park it in the staff parking. That was a different level of privilege. So yes, that comfortable.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, for every one of us, like some part of college holds a memory. Well, for example, the boat club, or it could be the building of our departments. So, for you, what was that particular spot in our college that holds memory for us and builds nostalgia for you?
I think it was the entire IT department, the third floor. But again, even today, while I was coming in, my husband was just checking on the maps, and then he asked me, what location should I put? So I said VIT Boat Club, though it's now temporarily closed. So he was asking, is there any boat or something? Which even I used to wonder back then. But yeah,
Ma'am,
that is a spot, kind of a spot, yes.
Ma'am, the idea of founding Gullakaari was during your college time only or after you passed out from the IT batch 2020?
Correct. So Gullakaari I started in 2023. I passed out in 2020. But moreover, the foundation began right when I joined in 2017. I was a SEDA student, just for the reference. But yes, the foundation did start there. And just to give a story about how did that foundation even started was, and I'm glad I have Ghadekar sir with us right now. So it started right from there. During my schooling days, I do remember I used to love volunteering with NGOs, spend 1 hour over the weekend or so, just to know what happens in and around my locality, outside my safe space, outside my house. And fortunately, when I came to engineering, Ghadekar sir helped me get one of the projects with director Sir Jalnekar sir through his reference. And that project was linked to a social impact. So it was for one of the social impact organizations. And that's where I understood how to frame the entire project, rather to chunk it down at unit level, though it sounds like a very dreamy or ambitious project, but how to break it down at unit level. And from there, the foundation began. So I did one social impact project. I got the gist. It went out in the public, and people were using. People are still using it. In fact, the same old project. Now, looking back at that project, it feels like that is such a childish work, but still, people are using it. And it was a very different. Basically, it was. Talking and learning about Vedas through an e-learning platform. So that e-learning platform we had made, that was one project. And to the surprise again, SEDA students join in out of nowhere suddenly. So I still remember my first project and also the first paper that got published. I do know in VIT it's like a trend to publish the papers. And while we are on the other side, it always feels so much, okay, now another scrap of paper we need to publish. But trust me on this, when you start applying for the masters or even for the jobs or for a very different field if you choose, your papers, your projects make you stand out. And that is a by default perk, I guess, which VIT offers by making it like a compulsion, not just like buttering up the entire VIT process, but talking the truth. So that was the foundation. And yes, coming back to the paper that I published, even till date, I get calls for the conferences just to pitch the same paper with the work that we had done. And it was one of the unique, different work that we did with. And I do remember Ranjana ma'am was there, even Dipali ma'am was there to guide. And it was basically automating the diagnosis of ADHD and the kind of exposure that I got. So again, even we were just having conversation that it is up to you how much you want to encash of the opportunity or even to name it as an opportunity. It is up to you. So it was just a regular paper back then or just a regular project. But fortunately, I was connected to a doctor in Nimhans who used to deal with mental health patients. So I traveled to Bangalore just for that one paper or project. It might seem like too much of an effort, but today when I recollect those memories, the conversation I had with that doctor, I would have never have had just by being here or just by sitting at my home and just compiling the paperwork. And probably out of all the papers, of course, due respect to the work over there, but that paper still stands out. And it has looped in so many other opportunities as well. Now I'm even if I'm in the social sector, but because of mental health and healthcare, because I do understand the system, I have that little bit confidence that okay, tomorrow if I have some sort of problem statement in my tech services company, I can deal with it, which is in healthcare. Because we know at least the basics, we get that confidence, and of course, we all are like research oriented. Once we fall in the loop, we will make it happen. So I think that's what the foundation, which has been led by VIT.
That's so nice to know. Before we move forward, we would like to introduce a very fun game so that the audience can also have an interactive session with us. So the game is very simple. We will show you 5 images there, and you have to guess the art form, and even you can share some success story, like any artist you know related to it, and anything informative and give insights about it. It would be
Nice.
like things. So the first one goes like this.
Okay, so I have two stories. Earlier, before I started Gullakaari, I just knew about this craft. I never knew there is any art and craft. Just to give you a little bit context, during my schooling days, if I have an elder sister, if both of us are doing some sort of art and craft, we used to get scolding from my father that why are you wasting time? And now just look at the entire shift. My father is my director, the co-director in Gullakaari. We have now founded that particular NGO which directly contributes to traditional Indian art. So I used to just know about Varli painting, which originates from Maharashtra. And I have two stories. So one is personal and one is professional. Let's go with the serious stuff first. Professional. You would have heard about Cadence Company, which comes to the campus, right? So just last year we conducted a Wali painting workshop at Cadence campus for the employees over there for employee engagement. So that is one of the memories which went like very well, wherein we coming from a software background and then having a gist, learning from a tribal artisan who actually traveled from Palghar district at Cadence for the first time in his life. And he was teaching all us engineers out there at Cadence that how to do Wali painting. So that was a very memorable, because looking at him smile, looking at him delivering that entire session so strongly. Because again, looping back to the previous one, we get the confidence with our knowledge. So he has that knowledge. It's a generational long knowledge that he has about Varli painting. So that's one instance. And second personal instance is just a couple of months back. So I term probably my marriage was the costliest marketing gig we did for Gullakaari, because it was all about Gullakaari, whatever I was wearing. So you guys know about Andar part, which is like held between bride and groom before they get married. So that antar, on that Andar part, now it's like basically a plain white sort of a curtain, you could say. So on that, our artisan came at my house. He invested 2 days just to paint on that antar part. One beautiful story. So that story is about tribe, Varli painting again, wherein there is this one particular design called as Chauki, Varli in Varli. So the importance of that particular design is so much that in Varli community, at the bride's place, they paint this design on the walls of the bride's house. And until and unless that design is not made, they can't marry. That's how the importance and rigid rules are there. So we got that design on our antar part, and just like this, during my wedding day, I held a mic and I was talking about all of this. That's why I say it was the costliest marketing gig that we did for Gullakaari. Yeah.
Can we have the next image?
Okay.
This is from your Gullakaari only.
Yes. Good. You mentioned the source. So this is Cherial painting. Again, just to give a little bit significance, or what I learned from Cherial artisans is, um, even in the office right now, you are having a bit of conversation about the gender-based opportunities, and probably the graph is now skewing towards the female favorism. But I found this art form to be a blend wherein there is nothing like gender equality. There is nothing that needs to be enforced on this tribe, because by default, this particular art form engages entire family. Husband and wife contribute to this painting, and this particular design, the cow that you see, that was made in front of me. So like the husband did the outlining, the black part of it. Then the wife Soumya ma'am was contributing for the borders and the painting work. So one art form actually was contributed. It was a teamwork, and probably there was no gender bias, but I saw that how actually both of them, irrespective of their genders, can contribute to making something meaningful and beautiful. So that's about Cherial.
Right, ma'am. Next image, please.
Okay, so this one's Madhubani. And so basically Madhubani and or Patachitra, which also has a sharing borders history with Bengal and Orissa. So that's a beautiful, colorful art form that you see. And the beauty of this craft is, of course, I'm not doing any justice to the artisans there, but they sing stories through this design. So in the centerpiece, it's you could see two fishes. So it's like these two fishes are getting married, and they actually sing the entire story. Now this is a very small design, but they do also have very funny lyrical stories which are sung, stating that an angry fufa is coming in and it's a fish. They'll show that fish and they'll then sing that. So every, like how a marriage happens, a typical marriage, how everyone is there, that's what is then depicted through the fish community. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Next, please.
Okay.
Again from Gullakaari, ma'am.
So this one's Gond painting from Madhya Pradesh. The beauty of the craft is in the intricacies, like how we always say that whatever we see, it's fine, but when people start actually observing, it is at the how much details that entire thing has. So Gond painting is all about the intricacies. Now over here, the patterns are not captured well, but on the deer and entire tree, there are very intricate like dots or lines which are there. So if you look closely, it feels like so much detailing and so much hard work has went inside this entire artwork. Yeah.
Last one for the day. Yes.
Is this blue pottery?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
Okay. Let me give a very um, interesting story regarding blue pottery. So just last year we started with blue pottery art form, and in fact we can have some suggestions from you. Blue pottery basically, it's not ceramic, but just for you for the visualization and to understand the texture well. It's like ceramic, so it probably this is more stronger than that. But if it falls or and we know how the shipping people handle our parcels so roughly, it's going to break. Blue pottery was one of our like best sellers last year, and people were so much amazed by this. It also resembles with indigo, which again both of these comes from same state, Rajasthan. And the blue color that you see, that's not some sort of paint or something. It's a mineral wherein using quartz powder, they get this particular blue color, which doesn't go away. So yes, so if you guys can suggest about the breakage, of course we did. There is just to give a good solution. Um, Firstly, packaging, we don't believe much in having the plastic packaging, but of course, I don't want to say very big words that we are eco-friendly, we are 100% sustainable. But we are of course mindful that where we can cut down the plastic packaging. And again, when we talk about packaging, we get happy if we get like a good luxurious looking box, but that doesn't make sense that where the artwork is half of the price of that box and you're paying double just for the pretty looking box which you just throw away ultimately. So that's where at Gullakaari what we do is let's have something reusable packaging, like we'll give you a tote bag and inside that we will package, or we will give a wooden box which you can use it later, which is again hand painted, the wood box as well. But for blue pottery, what we had thought of was, are you guys aware of water hyacinth? It's a water weed. It's a grass that grows in water. Specifically, even if we go to at Mudha, we can find it though, but specifically found in Assam region. So there is this huge weed grass which grows. So we dry it and then we cut small pieces. It's like straw, which has a hollow space, which gives that sort of bounce sort of effect to the as a which can be used as a packaging material to safeguard the edges. So instead of the bubble wrap, you can use these straws. But if you guys do want to research about this, even packaging industry is a very big industry now, and we can have a chat later. Yeah.
So, ma'am, like there are various art forms, so much diversity. What is your personal favorite? Like, if I ask you if you have to gift an art form to someone very close, which art form will it be and why?
Okay. So, firstly, no bias, like, of course, with due respect to all the art forms, but I'll start from the start. The first art form that amazed me and inspired me to start Gullakaari was Nirmal painting. So, I was traveling across India, just visiting these tribal rural places, and then I landed up in Nirmal district of Telangana. And that's where I met Saraka, who is fourth generation artisan. Can you believe it? Let me tell you the intensity of this statement, that can you believe it? Even looking at my friends, probably 6 months, even 6 months is huge now. 6 months into a job, they always say that, okay, I'm looking for a switch. But just imagine this artisan for fourth generation, like not just for a year or two, but legit like 4 different generations, grandfather and then father and then the person. So they are doing the same work day in and day out, just making this particular art form. And so that's why Nirmal, coming back to Saraka, ma'am. So she introduced me to Nirmal painting, and Nirmal is considered like as equivalent to as gifting Dadi ke Kangan, meaning the product, the handicraft itself is so much durable that it lasts forever, lifelong. That's why it's like you can pass it on from generation to generation. Uh, Even whenever you visit Vijay sir's office, don't clog his office, but he do have certain Nirmal products. So that's Nirmal, and that's my personal favorite because of the process behind it. Like, of course, the art form is beautiful, intricate, but why is it durable? I think engineering has helped in that way that we always think about why and how we try to dissect it. And when I came to know about the art form, of course, the design is beautiful, which I can't ever do it. But I find the process more beautiful. Just to give a little bit glimpse of it. So, pehle to these all are wooden products. So, on the first day, carpentry happens, and then they apply one layer onto this wood. Let the artisan lets it dry for a day. Next day, he'll come back, scrape off that layer, and reapply another lappam layer. Lappam is like a base layer, and this repeats for 12 days. So 12 days, 12 layers basically stack up. Which what happens because of that? Moisture control. Moisture gets locked off from the wood, and the wood never decays. And then the base layer goes, then the designing intricacy, and then the final finishing. So, however small or big any Nirmal product is, it at least takes 14 days to make. So that's Nirmal, and that's my personal favorite.
Certainly, ma'am. After this whole journey, you will certainly like to check out about the Nirmal products after this session. Ma'am, talking about your IT background, like you have graduated in IT in 2020. So when you were in final year, was there any dilemma between choosing a conventional tech career and starting Gullakaari? What were the thoughts in your mind, and how do you just cope up with them?
Correct. So, to be honest, I didn't know this term as well, that what a startup is, or there is any option called as startup. Like even my elder sister or my father, mother, they have always worked with any organization. But that's why I never had any exposure or any business background as such. Um, of course, I sat for the placement and got one. I went the very conventional way, but I think that was the, I don't know, fortunate or unfortunate perk of VIT, that once you get placed, you are out of the placement drive. So, but probably now I could say it's a fortunate move for me. So I literally had a year with me, which I could experiment. So the final year after getting placement and stuff. So I had a year wherein I was like, okay, kuch bhi nahi hua to waise bhi I'm going to join this. So then I took a leap. We actually participated in Smart India Hackathon, which Vijay sir back then was mentoring us, guiding us with. So it started from there, from one problem statement, solving it, and then we only knew okay, how we could develop a code, make it running. That's our work. Then it ends. But going a step beyond that, if someone can use it, accept us, because we know the flow, we know the user flow, we are acquainted with the UI UX that we have done. So that's where it all started. We took up the statement. I was doing something very different from what Gullakaari is right now. So then COVID happened in 2020. And back then, I just observed one problem, that it wasn't a problem but turned into problem, that people were trusting so much, uh, people were trusting blindly. They were, in fact, it was a good deed of humanity that we were helping out strangers back then. But the same trust was being misused, wherein a very typical case back then was fake Ram Mandir websites were done because the entire topic was in trend, Ayodhya Ram Mandir back then. So fake websites were made, crores were raised from those websites, raised as in collected, and one fine day these websites just vanished away. So this was one of the scam. Another scam was a lady claimed that she had a cancer. She raised 40 lakhs. And when somehow her family doctor came to know, that's where he reported that I have never diagnosed her, or I am not aware of her situation as well. And when scrutiny happened, it came out like she has used the entire 40 lakhs for her luxurious lifestyle just to fund that. Uh, so of course we don't have to go that way. The problem was trust being misused, and I thought, okay, let's being the software engineer part, easily we could do is, or not easily, but what comes directly to our mind is app bana lete hain. That's what we did. We made a web app which was a transparent donation platform wherein, irrespective of the amount that you donate, you can track how and where your funds are getting utilized. This was again inspired by blockchain technology, that how you can have the traceability around it. And again, to give a back reference, never would I have got exposed to blockchain if it wouldn't have been through one of the projects and internships that happened through VIT. So yes, that's how I know it's too much of VIT happening, but now that I look back, it does make sense. I was one of those that I used to cuss, "Arey, what projects, how many papers to publish." But now it makes sense. But yeah, that's how the entire thing happened, and that platform went live. We started getting crowd funds from there. We had 80% donors repeat, which is the highest repeat from all the crowdfunding platforms that exist today. That happened, but again, going to the reality, software things are working fine. It looks so good with numbers and the IT work behind it. But when we went, that how exactly these funds are getting utilized, to see how it's happening. So there was this one drive I still remember, wherein during monsoon we were distributing this monsoon survival kits through the raised funds. And when we went to go and distribute, so I found beneficiaries asking me that, okay, when are you coming next? We want this and that, and the list was going on and on. That's where I questioned myself that, okay, app is fine, but is this the thought process or the purpose with which I started? To make someone dependable on that app their entire life, that okay, this app is going to provide us now, which was very funny for me to, and very hard to believe that probably I need to now back off from whatever problem I saw. And that's where I started visiting these tribal and rural places. Then we started focusing on only projects which was livelihood based. So the app was doing the same thing, but only for livelihood. Livelihood as in, just say people can earn and have their life going on. So these people we used to target from different tribal and rural regions, also from urban, semi-urban regions. There are a lot many of projects to talk about, but let's skip that. But that's where this whole thing happened. And while visiting, I then landed up in Nirmal. And that's where Gullakaari journey started. So just to give you context, this takes a whole lot of patience. Nothing happens in a day or something like this. Just for me to understand only the problem, it took 2 years. This entire thing, whatever I narrated in bits and pieces, it was 2 years journey. And that just only gave me clarity that what I can now do for next 40 to 50 years of my life. That's Gullakaari, which now I can confidently say in front of you. Yeah.
Ma'am, we would like to know why the term Gullakaari was used and how it was coined and why you,
Correct.
like, what was the thought process behind it?
Correct. So the transparent donation app that I was talking about, that was called as Gullak. Gullak is piggy bank. So we were like, it would be a transparent Gullak. We also had a domain called Transparent Gullak because we didn't get Gullak. That was the whole reason. And then I got so much hooked with the name, and even my mentor was so much. He in fact became my mentor because of the name. Like he didn't know my name, but he knew that okay, you are running something called as Gullak, which is probably one of the biggest achievements of my life. That I say that you are known by the work, not just by your name. But yes, that was Gullak, and somehow I didn't want to lose out on that Gullak essence. And then I started meeting Karigars. So that's where we felt like let's make a platform which would be like Gullak of Karigars. So Gullakaari, Gullak and Karigar ka Kari. Like
That's so thoughtful, ma'am. I guess all the audience must be really thoughtful to know more about ma'am and ma'am's work. If there are any questions on the floor that any one of you want to interact with ma'am, you can have the questions with the audience, please.
I know this is the very awkward phase. The first one too, it's like the icebreaker. Yes. What's your name?
My name is Shiva.
Hi Shivam.
It was really nice to hear something out of tech college. We listen is tech and really nice. So while listening to you, it reminded me of Steve Jobs' theory of connecting the dots looking backward. Things that happen, but we don't know what's going to happen next and how it's going to turn out. So I want to ask, we are in the second year, so we don't know why, what are we going towards, what is going to happen with ourselves. We are just focused on our studies, projects, and everything. But in this journey, we lose our roots. But you didn't do it. Like, you know where you started. You told us a story about your father, right? The art form you used to work on. But we as a youth, we are very focused on our tech, so we lose that. So what we used to do back. How do we like make a good connection with our roots, with our hobbies, with our passion that we lose on the way? How did you manage that? And did you get the courage to start something very different than the conventional path? You are in VIT, we are like all of us are focused on tech, but you did a very different thing, which is no one can even think today कि हाँ ये भी कर सकते हैं, ये भी चीज होती है. So how did you connect your roots? How do you keep them with you along?
So, Shivam, very thoughtful of you to even think about this question. I never thought in that way. But now that I realize, because of your question, that okay. But to be honest, I was happily lost. I was never connected to my roots during engineering. And I probably now that looking back, I am happy. I don't want to reconfigure anything that I did in VIT. Let me also tell you what I did so that it's not a very bland answer. Um, this is my motto that wherever I am, if I'm now I can like frame it in a very sophisticated words, which would sound little intimidating to you. But wherever I am, I try to, if I'm investing my time, I want maximum benefits from it, whatever I'm doing. So even while between choosing, so I knew for sure either it would be VIT or Cummins, nowhere above or under. And it was VIT, IT, otherwise Cummins Comp. Just giving very blandly, I'm saying everything upfront. So I knew that the second preference that I give, of course, the first one being from Pune, it was COEP. though we just want to give it a try, whatever it is. But the second was whatever second option I put, it's going to be that. And I do remember I had a legit paper based pitch which I made for my father to get convinced and aligned that I want VIT IT on second and then Cummins Comp on third. And the only main reason was, of course, it was autonomous, and I went through the curriculum. I did that. I know it sounds little geeky, but I went which all subjects, what is there, and from just website. Nothing. I didn't know anyone over here. And the most interesting part was that internship module. The 15, now I don't know what's the holiday count, 15 days in winter, and I guess 2 months was there back then in summers. That in fact changed the game along with whatever projects were happening. I have heard projects count has increased now, which I don't know, but yes, back then it was happening. During this internship, I was completely techie and geeky, and I think even till date I am. Just look at like one week back, we have launched an AI version for Gullakaari. Like we name it as artisan AI. We have developed it. So I'm still in tech, and I think that's the beauty. Make peace with it, but whatever you know now, consider engineering as your strong point. It's with you. And how can you leverage that to solve some problem? See, you are not going to do something reformative that is going to change the entire world. Of course, dream of it. You can also do it, but don't get intimidated कि मुझे अभी ये सब change करना है. I'm thinking so big. Now I don't know where to start from. Just think about what you could do in your community or your from the village you are, or from the town you are, or from the city you are, or whatever is the problem that you find you are getting bothered with. And it should always be very personal. I know there are so many now good platforms, specifically Shark Tank picking up so much. Everything seems to be about numbers and so much intimidating. But trust me on this, again, people even don't know that with social impact or social work, you could also have a business from it. It's not just impact alone, but you can do good and earn good as well. So there is a model, something like this, which exists. So do something where you feel personally connected about. And when you think about that problem, now I was made aware that even your projects are going to align with SDGs. So this term is Sustainable Development Goals. I'm glad that you are being aware of it now, because I came to know about it only in 2021, I guess, when I started studying about what's happening. But SDGs are basically how your work is going to affect, in simple words. It's basically stated by United Nations. Global level pe ye stuff is happening, SDGs, which you guys would be then now directly contributing to. All your projects are going to align with SDGs. So by default, your curriculum is going to make you think about how you stay to your roots. But yes, that's just to summarize it. First thing is, whatever you are doing, if you are investing time, if you are committing your time, make sure that you are going to get maximum out of it. And second is, always be very observant and know yourself first, so that you can observe what is bothering you around, and then pick that up. I also picked up probably a very common statement that someone is giving some donation and that is being misutilized. I do remember, I think I was in VIT itself. Me and my friends, we were having some sort of junk from the street, and back then there was one man who came and he was asking for money basically, and we gave 10 rupees, or no, not even 10 rupees, the rupee, I think some dollar chiller or something like that. And then we saw, after some time, we saw him smoking or doing something like this, where we saw that it's being misutilized. Just 2 rupees or 5 rupees deed it was. But somewhere it linked back that yes, it's happening, be it on small or large scale. Though it was 2 rupees, 5 rupees, but it's happening with 40 lakhs, which I mentioned in one of the case studies. So that was the problem that picked me. And that gave me motivation that, okay, I can dedicate some time to this and try to solve it. I dedicated 2 years and then did something else from it, which derived from it. So if I would have, I didn't tell about one of the challenge that I faced, and during this donation platform. So there was one point of time, I guess it was in 2022, RBI suna hai, right? So RBI also has this right by the constitution that they issue licenses to these payment gateways. So payment gateway क्या all these guys, Paytms or cash free Razor Pay, these are all payment gateways. They can do it because they have license. Tomorrow you and me, we can't sit and make a payment gateway and make it live until and unless we have this license. And it costs bomb, like just to get the license. So of course, we being Gullak, we were using some, I don't want to name the platform, but one of the payment gateways. And back then RBI had renewed their payment gateway license terms. What does it mean, or how does that impact me? So many things keep happening, but how does that impact me is our operations were on standstill for 8 months. Operations matlab kya? Basically there was no money coming in to the business and the money was going out, of course. So that was the dilemma, that for 8 months should I sit still or should I do something else, or of course job to hai hi, that I can take up a job. Never hesitant about that, but yes, that made me like visit these tribes and being connected to them. That's where I started observing as well that what are their pain points, and then Gullakaari happened. And from there, of course, like I guess Gullakaari was sustainable, is of course like self-sustainable right now, but it was self-sustainable from the first initial months itself. So that model happened eventually. Otherwise, it was like a clear show that should I be just burning cash, or should I give up and do something else? So that was the situation. And probably through these we learned. And then somewhere we realize that, which of course links us to our roots, that what we could do, even if something bad is happening, but still how can we make it work? I think even that probably engineering subconsciously teaches us to solve that, okay, this is some issue, how can we solve around it? Yeah. I hope that answered.
Any more questions?
So how does Gullakaari actually works? To connect the artisans with the business owners, or there is a factory? And how was the early stage of this startup?
Correct. So I started in April 2023, Gullakaari. I started it from one of, in fact, because of Gullakaari, I moved out of PG and I rented one small apartment. And from there we started. We as in दो लोग. शार्क टैंक में सब बहुत अच्छा लगता है, एवरी लाइक नंबर्स एंड ऑल, एंड वी भी तो अभी तो वो आदत हो गई है टू से, but it was just two of us, me and my father. And then we had one developer who then helped us make, he was in-house, no freelancer stuff. So that's how just to give a very clear picture, it started from three of us doing this, first the tech work, and then by then I had met around 200 artisans while I said that I was traveling. From there I started keeping them in loop. Through these 200, then we have now spread almost, we have touched 1,200 artisans. So behind the numbers, how the system actually works is, we do only two things in our model. First one is skill training. Now we never teach artisan how to do the art, they are best at it, but we teach them what you can do from your art, like which end products kya ho sakte. Like you saw the bottle, bone painting bottle, artisans never did something on bottle, they had always done it on the curtains or some canvas. So but hum kitne hi paintings we can have it in our house, right? So our main goal is, if we want to revive these traditional crafts, we have to bring them back in our daily lifestyle, so that people like you and me, if I'm carrying a purse, it can be of some art form. If you guys are carrying some sort of bag or phone cover for that matter, it can be of some art form. Of course, it's different and unique, which we always keep an eye for. So that's where we skill train on that, which products, which handicrafts they can make. And we also skill train them, because these are new surfaces, new items. Our never emphasis is on to dilute the authenticity of the craft, but let that be authentic enough, but on the different use cases for that matter. And second step in what we do in our system is livelihoods, working around livelihood. It's a very small word for a big meaning or big term, because lives run around our livelihoods. So in livelihoods also, we have made it very simple and discreet. Again, two things we offer in that. One is, so that people at least be familiar with the crafts. We do traditional art workshops. It's offline as well as online. We have also now made it available on an AI powered platform. I hate saying this AI because now it's like going everywhere. Trust me on this, I'm not getting on the bandwagon of just leveraging the tech. So basically, what this platform does is, it has a sort of reader which keeps telling you about the story of the craft, and then we have recorded videos of the artisans who teach you about the craft. So it's like a self-paced course which we have launched. So that's in the first offering for livelihoods, wherein we do workshops, art workshops. And second is wherein we are providing them this marketplace. It's live right now, gullakaari.org, org for organization, ORG. So over there, people can open any sort of product, know about which craft it depicts, know about the story, the typical description, what would be the dimension, that is there. But what's different is how this craft is made, the video of making, and like basically telling the story behind every craft which needs to come up. So that we do. And I think your question, though you framed it in that way, but I think your question was on the revenue model bit. Was it? Yeah, that was concerning, right? And it should be. It should be. Because these sessions are okay, like you have it, everything goody goody, अच्छा लगता है यहाँ से वहाँ सुनने के लिए. But knowing about the numbers also makes sense. So now when I say 1,200 artisans, उसमें से did we start with all of them in the first year? I would have been the biggest fool doing that. If I would have done, I would have reached nowhere. Because even too much on your plate doesn't look good and is not manageable. Look good, chhod do. So first we selected 20 artisans. With them for 1 year we worked, just by focusing on those 20 artisans. We made the entire catalog, that what all we could have as an offering, workshops maybe, and on the marketplace. So how we make money is from workshop, basically just in one word, commission from workshop as well as from the sales. It's happening. And that's why Gullakaari is self-sustainable. From the day one, I was very clear. Let me give a little bit background as well. I also run one tech services company alongside Gullakaari. Does that mean paisa wahan se aa raha hai and Gullakaari is happening? No. That's a very, like, probably I'm making more from the social impact side. But yes, talking about tech services, we used to give tech services only for social impact organizations, be it NGOs or for profit social impact organizations. That's where I learned where this social impact industry is, and it's very bad. So maybe stories for other time, but just to say it in one word, it's not good. It's not authentic. What do I mean by saying good? It's not authentic, and whatever you see from maybe through the ads or LinkedIn post or social media, it's not always true. And that's what we served more than 50 social impact organizations from that tech services. That's where I was clear from day one. अगर कुछ NGO खोलना है section NGO is not a legal term, by the way, in India. It's section 8. Section 8 is a legal term. Though now NGO has got the popularity, so NGO. So basically, Gullakaari is NGO or Section 8 company. If I want to run that, I want to make it self-sustainable. I have good vision. It's a very bold statement for me to say that I am going to do this for my next 40 to 50 years. Because I have that interest and I have figured out the model for Gullakaari. I don't know about tech services yet though. But yes, that has happened for Gullakaari. And from day one, I was sure that I want to make a self-sustainable model for Gullakaari. My vision or my organization should not be dependent on someone else's money, which comes as donation. That, okay, I have a greater vision, but until and unless I don't get my donation, that vision is going to be on standstill. That I didn't want. That I was clear कि इसको self-sustainably करना है. And from there, this thinking ki how we can make money from this started. So yes, workshop is one, and marketplace is one. Again, just to break down the crux of it, marketplace we have developed in-house. It's based on, just to give all our IT students, right?
Yes.
We have developed it on MERN stack. AI model abhi Gemini pe. If you guys want to contribute, come contribute. But yeah, that was the tech stack which we went live. MERN stack. Abhi AI has happened. So marketplace we launched, from there the business happens, and specifically funding. How did I start? Where did the funds flow in? Another thing I was clear on was my parents back then were almost entering their retirement stage. I didn't wanted this to be a burden onto them. So I was clear, I'm not going to take a single rupee from them. I don't want to scale very drastically or be in Shark Tank and then talk these huge numbers, but I want to build it sustainably. And that's where from past 2 years I started Gullakaari. Where did the funds come from? Initially it was very cute of me that from the internships again, जो भी stipend collect हुआ था, so I just kept it aside. And you know, stipend, it's not in lakhs or so. It sums up in few lakh or a lakh hardly. So it was a very cute looking number, and because of that number, I was confident, chalo shuru karte. And I knew that, okay, I can suffice for 4 months in this cute looking number. That's how it started, the reality. And fortunately, I came to know that there are government grants, which grant is basically like a prize money. It's not investment and all. ये जो Shark Tank में दिखा रहा, it's not that. You don't need to give your equity for it. So it's like a prize money, non-returnable. So it's like I'm giving you 1 lakh. Okay, gone. Gone as in, of course, utilization दिखाना रहता है. There is another procedure, but it's not that you have to again give it back to me. It's not like that. So government does that. State and central governments offers grants, and उसमें से I got the first grant was of 3,60,000 something, which was being dispersed every month. Every month 30,000 they used to give for a year. And from there I started. तो वो स्टाइपेंड का सेविंग ही है आज तक. And from there, at least the initial funds got in, and then we started making our own business. वहाँ से the cash flow started. It never starts with a very glorious looking funds or in the bank account or wherever I am right now. It doesn't start there. It starts always small until and unless, of course, if there is backing and everything, you can do it a little easier and organized way. But always you have a way. Don't just sit where you are. Don't feel that, okay, I can't be there or I can't go there. Start wherever you are if you want to really start. And it's okay. It's always okay to do something conventional or doing something non-conventional. There's no hard and tough policy. Go with it, but do what you like. And it takes years and years to figure out what you would do for your next 40 years. So no pressure on that as well. That probably I'm taking up a job. Would I do it for 40 years? No pressure. Life is going to happen at different stages. So take it slow. No pressure. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope that answers our audience question. As we come to the conclusion of this seminar, I would like to call upon stage Dr. Vijay Mane sir, Dean Alumni and Outreach, Dr. Premanand Ghadekar sir, Head of Department CSE AIML, Dr. Pankaj Kunekar sir, Associate Dean of Alumni and Outreach sir, and all the respected faculty members to kindly join us on stage for a group photograph. And also the team members, please join us later after this group photograph. Sir, please. Sir, एक बार ले लीजिए. Sir. Ma'am.
Question पूछता हूँ last में.
Sure, sir. Please, sir.
So I got this question from most of the students those who want to enter into entrepreneurship. So is it really necessary to have some backing, huge amount of money with them? Because most of the students are from middle class family, right? Their family's intention or expectation are like immediately, and they are coming to ATC, for example, basically to get a good job, good company. But because of this SIS, you can say, or learning through these 4 years, they got good projects, and they have the potential also. In the project, they have the potential to make the product and to start their own career into as an entrepreneur. But they don't have such family backing. You can say, or how to, you can say, balance this. They don't have any such say, as you got some funds or what you
अभी
call
टीम की
that,
फोटो
grant
लेके मैंने कहा
from
समझ में
government.
आया एंड कैसे
So,
टीचर कहते
what would be
हैं
your
टीम की फोटो लेके तू यहीं रहेगा
suggestion for this?
ये फोटो कोई तो मैं किसको बोलूं
So again, just to highlight, even I come from a very, very humble family background. Like just to give the humbleness of the family background. Now that my parents are 60 plus, now they are making the trips that they used to dream of so earlier. Now, legit now. Probably within 1.5 years, they have started making those trips. But yes, that in fact, I think going back to Shivam's question, that always kept me, that will always keep me grounded and intact with my roots. Not everyone needs to do something of their own, because right now I do understand that with these popular shows and everyone talking about doing some idea or stuff, there is so much vanity. Let me explain this term vanity, that everyone talks so confidently about them, so much with so much pride, and yes, things happen. They just talk about so big numbers, so big achievements, just like that. But it's never like that. They'll never talk about the struggles in front or with everyone. Probably that can happen one-on-one. So don't get bogged up. Don't get pressurized that people out there are doing so much. Just think of what you could contribute at your own level, individual level, be it small or big. Never at the day one just like that, it happens big. These are all the baby steps that I have also undertook. And again, no influential people in my family. Gullakaari was launched by Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am in Delhi. I didn't know her, like of course through the GKV I was knowing her, but I didn't know her personally. But what was in my limits, what was in my capacity was at least finding phone number milega kya. Being too ambitious. That I didn't get. Next was email ID. That I got from her own website. And I mailed. That was in my capacity. I mailed, I followed up, and I got a response. And we got invited there. It happens. It's all game of patience and trust. Again, don't just sit blindfolded. When that payment gateway incident happened, if I would have still believed in what I was doing, even now, because I'm here to talk about reality. In 2021, after passing out, I started that Gullak, a transparent donation platform. Even after raising so many funds and everything, the revenue was so cute that it would hardly even suffice for one person. It was funny. But if I would have stayed adamant कि नहीं ये तो मेरा idea है, this is what I was born for, or being so much dreamy about it and not letting it go at the right time, I would probably have done something else, maybe something else as an alternative, but not Gullakaari. So even if you come from a very humble background, it's never about the background or people that you know, but what you can do next. If you have figured out your next step, just break it down. I know everything is so much complex and so much intimidating and so much huge out there. But for that huge, what can you do today? What can you do it at your unit level? Start thinking of it. Now there are government websites about these crafts. Who bothers about art and craft? Today in our days with IT, AI happening, this Ghibli trend was happening and so much. Where is Indian craft? It's nowhere. But being bothered, it's like almost vanished. It has died. We have moved so much. Just look at us. Look at the bags over here and everything. Look at your own self. What you're wearing from top to bottom. Look at me. Am I wearing everything handmade? Is this watch handmade? Of course, the dress, the scarf, my purse, whatever, the mobile cover that I have, that's handmade. And I think probably my shoes won't stand out. It's just from another company or so. Probably my watch won't stand out, but probably my scarf would be standing out because it's different. You don't see it in day in and day out because that's Indian craft. That's where our Indian craft lies. But where would I even have been bothered about our Indian craft? Nowhere. That was not even my side. I used to get scolding. That's what I said. Look, having a crayon in my hand. But life happens. You figure out. Keep believing. My school motto was believe in yourself so that you can move the world. That we just had by hearted. But now I see that yes, somewhere some contribution you would make in life, and that's enough. You need to acknowledge it, and you'll be there. But again, just I know this is like a pep talk, but talking about stay away from the vanity, stay closer to the reality that is there. That's one thing. And I'll just go back to myself, to my version of 2021. I was just out of college, and I just knew about IIMs. I knew about IITs, right? So I was like, okay, I was just made from somewhere or some friend. I came to know that incubation centers नाम का कुछ रहता है. I never heard of that name. Incubation I used just very blandly. It was like वो test tube babies, वो सब incubation. That was my closest relevance to the topic. But incubation centers are there. Then it was really a basic Google search. What I did next was अभी IITs IIMs में होंगे क्या incubation centers. Then I started visiting their websites कि whether they have these incubators. And that's where I got IIM नागपुर का एक incubator है InFed नाम का. and I visited their website, and I saw that okay, they have this running program, women entrepreneurship program. खाली women के लिए नहीं रहता. There are other programs as well. I know there's the skewed graph that's looking, but yeah, it's there. It's just like you need to make a little effort, and then you will come to know about things. It always starts from you, and then things would come your way. So that initiation should be there. And I never started कि okay मुझे तो I need 10 lakhs or I need 20 lakhs as funding and then I can start. I never did that. I had that cute looking stipend collection with me. I started over there. That okay, I can at least run for 3-4 months. That was my level of confidence. Nahi to I'll go back do a job. But I started, and I don't regret it. So if you really want to make it work, and also on the other side, look for your mentors, look for whom you look up to, and again, after getting into this, every hour you will get some or the other advice. So even be very mindful about that, which advice to pick up and believe. Otherwise, it will keep bothering you. Any person would, of course, they like to talk and give some advice, but be wise. Don't get bogged up because of that. And yeah, start from where you are. Make yourself aware of things that are being facilitated. Uh, it might again sound a little geeky. मैंने भी ये किया नहीं था, to be honest. But ये जो financial budget रहता है, we don't know how many zeros goes in that, but of course after a number. कि इस wing के लिए for tribal development there are so many crores allocated, or for AI. And this year I was surprised that for cultural and tourism, it was, I guess, finance minister was talking about just this segment for 10 minutes while she was delivering. In that 10 minutes, देखो कितना crores का budget आया रहेगा. But what to do out of this? It sounds okay, so many crores, we don't know where it is going, but it's going somewhere. Focus on the right channels, and this money actually comes to the incubators, which I'm talking about. That's what I want to make you aware. And these incubators do give grants, and of course uske liye alag preparation rehta hai. But I do also know that VIT students have already started and walking on this path. Pankaj sir, I guess, had connected with one of the students group couple of weeks back, and they are pitching and they are approaching. So if you want to just find people like Pankaj sir, or just reach out to your faculty members if they are aware of it. What you could do very immediately, think of that action item. Yeah, I want to do this, where can I get funds? Even there are sponsored projects from the college itself. That is one way. So figure out your next step. Of course, dream for a bigger vision, but figure out your very next step. And then like break it down into units and start. If you really want to. There is no force. No one is like telling you walk on unconventional path so that you can write a LinkedIn post about it and get X likes. No. Life is about reality, not about vanity. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you to all the alumni and outreach committee members for someone. Professor and his
Ma'am,
team
the
to
photo
organize
editing के साथ you can just
Sushmita and organize this. Very thank you to all the IOC club council members for organizing very nicely. I would like to say here just 2 minutes you can see. That now we are connected
Ma'am,
to
please sit.
our
Please, it's okay.
alumni. And I am very happy to share that we connected almost 30 to 35 alumni who are interested in investing in the ideas of the student. So we are now starting with an alumni entrepreneur cell. So alumni entrepreneur cell is one where only alumni will be there contributing, or you can say investing as an angel investors. So soon we will be coming with some pitch ideas or some competitions. So the juries will be these alumni, and they will select, they will pick up the ideas, and they will pick up you can say, and they will invest into you to pick up you as an entrepreneur to bring your product to the market. So there are so many such very good alumni, district alumni like Sushmita. Recently, we visited to Delhi, where we have two alumni. One is working as a director of higher technical education. So he promised that he will give the extension of IIT Bombay's entrepreneurship to VIT. So no need to go to IIT Bombay. So whatever they are doing over there, so they will give the extension of the VIT. One alumni we have in Ministry of Health, Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. So he suggested that now there is a lot of funds given to sports and youth development. So he suggested that he will guide some students, he will guide some students to go into this particular domain or start this particular product. So like this, we are connecting for such alumni and bringing such alumni to you. This is one part. Other are there, as you know, as he has developed her products through the projects, the patents, the publications. The ecosystem is there in VIT. It is up to you how you take up as an for your very big purpose, right? So thank you very much, Sushmita, for your time. What else?
It's done, sir.
Done.
Ma'am, we would like to request you for some moments. All the I2IOC coordinators, please come on the stage for a group photo with me.
We can leave.
Yes, yes, audience can leave.
Thank you everyone for your time.
Ma'am, you
One
want
more
mic?
point, she is our best outgoing student. Always ready batch. So let's.
बाय मैम अरे जा रहे हैं जाने देना सर टीचर्स तो गए अगर सर आ सकते हैं तो ठीक है सर आप ही बोलो सर आप ही बोलो मैम आप सेंटर में आइए नहीं नहीं मैम यही पीछे बैकग्राउंड आ जाए
Excuse me, everybody. If anybody wants to interact with the alumni, they can stay back.